having me back. It's always a joy to be with you. So you can mute yourself. I am not muted, obviously. That would be sad. And then I think we'll just honor some people come in and we hear that, then we'll just let them come in, and that's great. So guys, today we're going to be talking about your body and tenseness in your body and how it does affect your ability to make decisions. And so I'm going to use some classic things people struggle with, right? Which is like tightness or clenching or cramping in the body. And most of the time we're used to having those feelings and not associating that pain with a mental process. But from my perspective, and you guys know I'm always going to go back to the mind, I think they are synced up. And so today is all about us understanding these classic feelings you'll have almost every day. You can once you identify this kind of pain in the body, you can start working to soften the pain in the body and then soften the thoughts that are helping create it. Okay. So now I know that some of you might be dealing with some pain that's really intense. Maybe it's chronic. Maybe you've had it for a really long time. So I'm not really speaking to that kind of pain that's a deeper level, that's more entrenched in you and your experience. So really today is more about catching those small pains that we have and shifting it. Okay. So one of the ones we're going to talk about is, and I know you guys can see me, but since I'm talking to y'all about it right now, almost all of us on the computer will slowly end up doing this, right? You kind of get tight in your shoulders. And so what's happening from my perspective is you're stressed. You don't know what to say on your email, right? And then you aren't catching your stress in your mind. So then your body starts showing you're stressed, right? So then you get here and this is uncomfortable. And then you realize, oh, I'm stressed, or why am I doing that? And you kind of shake it off, right? So that's the invitation, is us grabbing those moments and helping you know you can relax it, but knowing some of your thoughts got you there. Okay. And that we need to look at the thought and why it got you there. Okay. So that's what we're focusing on today. You guys where I can see you. So I'll be toggling back and forth because I like to see y'all. Okay, and again, grabbing a pen and paper just to land some notes or using your phone as we go today. So again, here we are at our mindfulness program. Thanks for having me back and relaxing your body for clear decision making. Okay, so it's all based on this premise that if you're relaxed, you're open to deeper clarity. If you're relaxed and you generally have a way you make a decision, or, you kind of stay in this certain lane in your life because these are the decisions you're allowing yourself. If you're a more relaxed person, that opens. And so there's a new ability to see other opportunities and other options. And this is the whole goal of today, is I want you guys to know the more relaxed you are, the more clarity you're going to have on your challenges and better insights. Okay. So if you're tense though, then you're tied to the same decisions, especially if you're used to being that tense. All of us live with a level of stress that we just are used to. And it's almost an anxiety or a stress level that runs in the background that we're not even fully aware is there. And so then again, I believe that you're only giving yourself opportunity to see a few outcomes or decisions you can make. And again, we want to open this up. The definition of insanity is repeating the same behavior over and over again and expecting different results. And so if we're used to only giving ourselves these 5 decisions we can make, and people see it a lot in food, like where you eat, are you someone who just always goes to the same 3 restaurants? It's not a slam, but you're really entrenched into that experience. And there's thousands of restaurants, so you could open it up more, have more experience, have new knowledge, so you're opening. Okay. So then we think about moving and body. A relaxed body is one that is inspired to move. It has enhanced flow. We know this is why working out's great, right? Because it gets our adrenaline moving. It gets all the body fluids moving quicker so you can detoxify faster and you are more open. And this is the thing in this talk today. I don't think a lot of times we think about our body signaling what our mind is thinking, right? So I do think if you're thinking stressful thoughts, your body's going to start signaling that same stress. And I do think they're working together to help you recognize there's an error and that you have to find the error, which is first the tension in your body, and then second, the negative thoughts you're having in your mind, to then have a balanced experience. Okay. So then let's think about this. I've already used, we're going to use tightened, clenching, and crampy because these are common. Okay. And then we're going to talk about how this affects you guys. Okay. And I'm going to use personal examples like always. So in a tense body, I believe the energy is stopped. You're blocking energy flow, and it sends a signal. Your body's trying to send you a signal that the energy is blocked by giving you a pain. So this would, some of you might not be used to considering this, but like that pain in the body is like a loving thing. It's trying to get your attention. It's not just something to dismiss. I don't think it's random. And so for the first one, let's think about tighten. So we've already used this example. A lot of us have that experience. I've done it where I'm like this. I mean, I'm over exaggerating because I'm on camera. I'm trying to make it clear, but I've been this way. And sometimes it's not even obvious to someone else, but you're clenching inside. And so like if someone looked at you, they couldn't tell, but you know you are. Oh, and so that's a common tightening that, again, it's about being stressed about what to say or how you're going to communicate or who you're communicating with. There's a lot of different factors here. So when you guys think about tighten, I just want you to think about your body because you know you best. Okay, so for me in this example, tighten, my body tightening means my shoulders for me personally, but that might mean something different for you. So think about this. And you can just write tighten and the body part that you think tightens up the most. Now, as you're doing this, adding as well, of course, your body will have pain because it's being held in this really awkward position, and that as soon as you drop it, it will balance out. And so today, as much as it seems really simple, it's just understanding you have the choice to relax it. You can also have the choice to think, okay, what was I just thinking, or what was just happening that made me feel like I needed to protect myself in that way, or I needed to kind of not protect, but it's almost like be on guard, be ready for something else. Okay, let's move to clench. So for me, when I think of clenching, I do it in my jaw. So for you guys, where else? And clenching can be, I've heard of people clenching in really weird places, like the top of their feet. Again, you'll know where you're doing it. Clenching in your head, if you're used to getting headaches, then there's like a clench there. Some of it doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if you've never been asked this. You might be like, I don't know. So then you can write just a question mark. You're not sure about clenching. Okay, and then the cramping. For me, all my life, I had stomach problems. I had real stomach issues and food sensitivities. And all my life, I always knew I put my stress in my stomach. So my stomach always felt like there was a rock inside my stomach. And I was aware of it. So one, I don't know why I was aware of this like when I was 12, so I just was. So maybe you guys are aware, there is a place in my body where I store stress. I almost purposefully put it there. And again, we're not going to get into the reasons why you put it there, just you do. And if you've never considered this, then think about, okay, where would I store it? And the kind of what's interesting and what I'm wanting to present to you guys as a permission slip is that if you have stress, you don't have to store it. This is something, again, we're not taught. You can let it go. So as a young person, having all these stomach challenges and being diagnosed with all kinds of stuff, I just finally realized one day I didn't have to store it, and I definitely didn't have to put it in my stomach. And so I just started saying, I release you. I let it go. I let it go. And I think, again, it's just a permission slip of you realizing you can let it go. And like now, I like can eat anything. And that's just my truth. If you guys are having challenges in that way, it's okay, but it'll get better. So think about, where do you cramp? And I believe you end up cramping in areas you are holding stress. All right. Okay. So then for this, this is really just a slide to land what we just did. So you guys have you've thought about, okay, where is there tightness in my body? Where do I clench in my body, and where do I feel crampy? And it's allowed to be different than what I just shared from my personal experience. Okay. So then with this, we understand that mental stress can be the cause of many physical ailments. So to me, as I'm presenting this, I don't think this is not far-fetched. Hopefully y'all don't feel like it is, that it's pretty much understood that, how you're thinking about things can easily lead to, physical challenges. So then my perspective, going a bit deeper, is about, one, becoming aware of the pain. So you guys have just written down the places that you have body pain. Now you might not fully understand all the things I'm saying, but at least you do know, okay, these are the places I have pain. And then I want to today help you kind of recognize that instead of just pushing it away and saying, this is annoying pain, I don't know why it's here, it's softening to, oh, this pain might be trying to tell me something. And then again, I think it's trying to tell you have thoughts that are, stressing that part of the body out. So recognizing it's a mental stress reacting in your body. And again, today it's like we want to land the body, but then just understand, okay, there's a mental aspect to it. But today is really about the body and knowing, okay, here's the pain. Obviously, I can stretch to help move that pain out of the way. But then like my 2% I'm going to give it is that this might be coming from some thoughts I'm having. And so then what I want us to do today is identify the pain, and then to the pain say, I release this stress. And I just allow more energy to flow. Because what's happening, again, going back to the tightness in the shoulders, you're unconsciously, by stress, shrinking up. Blocked flow. Now we need to recognize, ooh, I don't feel so good in my shoulders. Let's drop that, and then once you physically can drop, but then mentally thinking, okay, I release the stress I was holding there. Lori says I was thinking about something. I don't know what it was. I release it. And then I allow more energy to flow here. Okay, so, and also I want you guys to make notes, in our Q&A time, if there's something else that you experience in your body you want to share, maybe it's you would call it a different thing, then, we can discuss that later. Okay, so let's go back to our girl stretching. So I believe we trust her to make clear decisions because she's exhibiting a few things. Now, this is more about stretching, but she's already realized, okay, she's holding stress in her body. She's gotten up and now she's starting to move, right? So she's moving. So her body is becoming more fluid. It's enhancing the flow. And I believe when you are doing this for yourself, mentally or physically, that you do start opening up to more clarity. It's giving yourself that break, like we've said in other talks. Don't just keep pushing and making yourself try to come up with something when you can feel you just don't know. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what to do. You don't know. That's when your signal is to back off it. And this is the same kind of thing. When you back off, you can stretch, again, physically or mentally. We'll talk about the mental in a minute. Okay, so I love this. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. What is soft is strong. Lao Tzu, that is a famous philosopher. So I love this because it's demonstrating what we know, but also I feel like it's a beautiful invitation for you guys to really take this softness, and our culture we're just not taught to be soft. There's so many people that I talk to that's like, if I become soft, the whole world is going to take me down. And I just don't think that's true. I think you being soft is an invitation to help other people know they can be soft and thrive too, Okay, so then let's practice together. I'm going to do a time check to make sure we're good. Okay. So first of all, we're going to do a little bit of this meditative process, okay? So what I want you to do is get really relaxed, comfortable, focusing on your heart. You can turn off your camera if you want to, if that makes you feel more comfortable, as long as you can hear me. And so we're going to go through each one of these in our mind's eye. And before I lead you, let me just say, as you guys are just listening to me, we're going to get to basically 3 steps. We're going to talk to your body pain, telling it we're releasing the stress, and also that we're allowing more flow. And then the second piece is that we're going to stretch. Now, you guys can physically stretch, which is obvious, right? So what I like to do with my shoulders is when I catch myself doing this and then I drop them. So there's a lot of ways you can stretch your shoulder, right? You can do all kinds of stuff, right? But what I like to do is I purposefully over-exaggerate what I just did. I like scratch, 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 and then I drop it because it feels like it drops like double what was happening. And so that's a really beautiful stretch. So you can intuit a body stretch. That's a physical stretch. And we can talk about it if you're not sure how you would do that. Now, the other one that's like classic Lori, just go with me for a minute, is a mental stretch. So sometimes when we get to your body pain, sometimes you can't really imagine stretching it, or you don't know how you would stretch it. Like if your back is bothering you, you could probably get on the floor and invert your legs, or you could kind of twist your shoulders, or you could pop it. There's different things you could do, but you can also, in your mind's eye, just imagine you take your back and pull it like rubber band. Now, some people might be like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. But it's like, well, no, you're not doing it. You're doing it in your mind. But the point is you're allowing your mental capacity to help stretch out what you are intuiting and a gut reaction feel like needs to be stretched. Okay. And we'll touch on this a little bit more when we're doing this meditation piece. Okay, guys. So with that said, relax, center into your heart, focusing on the tightness first. So let's bring to mind what you wrote down is your tightness. Where do you tighten up? Okay. Now, when you identify where you tighten up, I want you to repeat inside. I mean, you can repeat it outside, but inside is for our purposes, because this doesn't have to involve anyone else, right? I want to demonstrate you guys can do this without anyone knowing you're doing it. I release this stress. So focus where the pain is. I release this stress. Then next, I allow more energy to flow here now. And then our second piece is to stretch. So as you're there, if there's something that you want to stretch physically, you can. And if you want to play with stretching it in your mind's eye, you can. I'll give you a few moments to do this. And also you can make a note if you're not sure what to choose based on the body, where it is in your body, then, we can talk about that later during Q&A. All right, good job, guys. So then let's just shake it off, right? Just shake your shoulders, shake your body. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now let's just do a body check-in just for that part, right? Just you doing that focus that was less than 2 minutes. Do you feel more rejuvenated? Maybe like energy is flowing more.
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you. I think that was Dixie, but I'm not sure. Thank you. Okay, then let's focus in on the second one, clenching. So I use the example of my jaw. Clenching could be really anything. And again, we talked about maybe it's not even obvious. Just if someone walked in the room, they wouldn't know you were doing it. So where are you clenching? Now that you have in your mind, let's close our eyes, focus into that part of the body where it clenches. I'm going to focus in on my jaw. Okay, so then you can even touch it if you want to. I just felt like I wanted to touch my jaw. So right now, because we're talking about it, obviously it's not really holding a lot of stress, but you'll still feel some release. Okay, so you can say, I release this stress. I allow more energy to flow here now. And I always give a pause because you want to just feel that. I feel like it's an unraveling. So just holding for a moment. And then the second piece is to stretch it physically or in your mind's eye. Now, the jaw is kind of funny, right? Because I don't really know how you would stretch your jaw. So then I would choose to use my mind's eye. And with this, now some of you might cringe, but again, I choose a visual that's not going to stress you out. But I could imagine putting my jaw on like a massage table and just giving it a massage. So some of this sounds silly, but again, if it helps you, why wouldn't you try it, right? Giving yourself permission to use your imagination. Okay, so let's do this for a moment. Whatever you've chosen, physically stretch it or mentally stretch it. Okay, so if you've done a physical stretch, you can shake it out. Mental stretch, just put your body part back in your mind's eye. So taking my jaw off the massage table and putting it into my body. Okay, so now for 3, the crampy feeling. So thinking about, where do I store stress? And then those of you who don't know, I do think most people, I won't say most, a lot of people would know just instinctively where this is. If you feel like you don't know, then let's ask you, if you thought you knew where you held stress, where would it be? This kind of helps open you to feeling that. And then again, we want to acknowledge, I feel it as a crampy feeling or pain. You might intuit it differently. Okay, so now let's go within, closing your eyes, focusing in on your heart, and then move to that region of the body where you feel like you hold stress. And once you're there, I want you to tell it that you release the stress and that you're going to allow more energy to flow here now. And this third option, this is it's a sensitive thing. We all have stress. We all store it somewhere. And so this is, if you've never been asked this can be a really kind of life-changing moment. And so instead of stretching this area, unless you feel like you really want to, I don't want to stretch my stomach in this case, right? So I just want to hold gratitude, for this, because it was kind of insane. I was storing my stress there, and I don't really know why I chose to do that, but I would just want to give gratitude for my stomach taking it all those years. And that gratitude could look like I see you. You could send it love. You could just watch it. Like I'm talking about, it feels like an unraveling. So just watch it unravel. Okay, so we can end that part if you were stretching or just holding gratitude for that part of your body. And let's just be here together in the silence, focusing in on your heart, feeling in, I like to call it a body scan, where you can just start at the top of your head and scan, almost like if there was a laser scanning your body. You can just kind of feel, okay, do I feel more open, lighter? It feels like there might be more space here, relief, like whatever it is for you. Just note that and scan your entire body, so head to toe. All right, guys, so as we begin to end this process, you can breathe into your heart for 3 and then out for 5, like we did in the beginning of our program. Okay, so breathing in and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push all the air out and in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push, 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 push in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going, keep going, keep going, all the way, all the way, all the way, and back to normal. Good job. So you guys can gently open your eyes when you are ready. Okay, I liked this quote as well. Byron Katie is an author. He's a famous author. He's written many books on self-care. So clarity moves much more efficiently than violence or stress. So it ends up, I just see this as flow versus not, almost like, we've closed doors. We close doors in our mind by our thinking, and then our body follows suit, following the mind. And then that's when we get the pain. So just knowing that if we have stress, we can handle the stress because we love ourselves enough to open to better and more.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I adore you. I know. Okay. So we're all good. All right. Well, you know how to find me if you have more questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Lori.
All right. We'll see you
Thank y'all
too.
for coming. Bye.